I've got a long greyhound, she won't let me ride. I've got a long greyhound, she won't let me ride. She'll make me brush it in the morning, I put it in bed every night. Long greyhound.
Oh, taking your guy. History repeats itself. It fails to die. And I'll take the wrong man as naturally as I sing. Thrown up my walk. And I'm questioning myself again.
Daddy, she's the real star.
Thank you.
It's been brilliant. We've got 2 weeks to go. And
I must say, Southend's on the up, isn't it? It really is.
Understand, once he was a family man.
Okay, and just briefly before this film starts, I'd like to introduce Tom Coombs, who's actually in the film, and he's here today to say hello. Tom.
Hello. Yeah, I'm only in the scene. Seen the film about 4 times, but yeah, it's a very good, fun film. It was great to work on.
Morris dancing. Seemingly an innocent pub pastime involving hanky-waving bearded men.
I think Wilco actually did 1 gig with us at St Clement's Church Hall in Lee. And Wilco's excuse for not joining us was, I'm thinking of joining this bunch of kids on the island. And as someone said about this film, it's 4 men in cheap suits who crashed out of Canvey Island and sandpapered the face of rock and roll. And that sounds like a pretty good description of what you're about to see. Oil City Confidential. Thank you.
Good work, everyone. Good film.
Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. So take the photographs and still frames in your mind, hanging on a shelf in good health and good time. Tattoos of memories and dead skin on trial. For what it's worth, it was worth all the...
Special guests are going to come out afterwards. We're going to do a Q&A and any questions from the audience. So what I'd like to do is introduce Clint Dyer, lead actor, Rob Heath, the director, Barry Keith, the writer. Thanks for coming here and supporting Sus, and enjoy the movie.
Election night. The new dawn. Oh, what do you think we picked him up for?
I reckon he thinks he's sus.
Must have been picked up on sus a few times then.
Well, that's what I sort of like you would.
Wheel him in then.
Fantastic film. Nicky, you knew it. You knew Ian Ogilvy before this film, didn't you?
Well, Ian was and still is my oldest and best friend, and I'd met Michael Reeves through him, and I knew that we were onto something because those old guys on the unit were going, "This is all right, this is good," and they started to talk about our movie. This is our movie, and even then. I mean, I know it's looking back now, but even then we knew we were kind of onto something. There was something extraordinary happening on this little cheap movie.
I'd like to introduce you to our special guest tonight, Ron Stewart, cinema manager from the Regal and the Classic Cinema in Westcliff. Ron Stewart.
I should say, good morning boys and girls, it was a little late for that. So good evening, Westcliff. The cinema, the boss came down and said, look, we're going to close in 5 months' time. Cinemas were going through a bad stage. And I said, well, can I be manager for the last 6 months of it? And he said, well, you might as well, it's going to close anyway. After 5 months, they came down and did a stock check. And I thought, this is it. And the boss came down with his secretary and they did the stock check. And I said, oh, I know what's going to happen, we're going to close. He said, no, if you can carry on the same business that we've been doing the last 6 months, which is the best business for many years, you can keep it going. 5 years later, I was still there.
I would find it very hard, or I would find it quite amusing if a skeptic could actually explain what happened that night, because I'm telling you now, it was completely paranormal.
Won't be booking there for your holiday, will you? Well done, Rich. I thought you'd done a fantastic job. Rich Morley, brilliant.
As a professional medium, you kind of get a bit worried because we kind of say that everything's safe and lovely and nice, and we normally use all the nasty stuff, all the fictitious stuff you see on the TV. But for this to actually happen this way, I have to say it's the first time I've ever worried about my abilities, if you like. The one thing I've always been taught from my granddad was to basically always show anger, never show fear. So that's how I kind of implemented the evening from then on, is to be angry, aggressive, and to show no fear. As I say, you know, I would take on any sceptic to ask them, unless they think that we ran off and cheated and scratched his back up and then quickly ran back to the seance table again. However, there were at least, I believe, 25 people there that night that could most probably, well, they will, swear by Almighty God and say that it was completely true as it ran.